Hello darlings, and welcome to another Dragon Age 4 character prediction tarot stream. It's a evening one today, because that's how the cookie crumbles. Alright, so let's see who it's going to be today. So far we've done all the playable characters that we've played. And we've done quite a few interesting characters. So who is it? That is so funny, because I just said that's how the cookie crumbles, and the thought crossed my mind, Sera's cookies. So that's how Sera's cookies crumble. That is pretty funny. So Sera's an interesting one. She's a strange cookie. Talk about cookies. And what would her role be in Dragon Age 4? I mean, I know there's the theory of her being linked to one of the Evernuises, but I haven't explored that enough. And so there is that possibility of an Evernuis living inside of her without her knowing it. Or I don't think that she would have been one, but I mean, Solis does say that she strayed from what the people were supposed to be. But I mean, she's potentially a lover to the Inquisitor, or at least a friend to the Inquisitor, or potentially, you know, rival also. But she's skilled, and because she seems aloof most of the time, she would be a good character to appear in Dragon Age 4 because she wouldn't be suspected to have so much knowledge or to be able to share all that knowledge. But once you're able to decode how she talks and in her strange cookie way, what she says, it has value. Hey Tabitha, thanks for joining the stream. So yeah, okay, let's find out what the tarot cards have to say about Sera in if the cards don't stop sticking to my fingers for some reason. So what do the cards have to say? What is Sera's role going to be in Dragon Age 4? This is quite interesting. All right, so it's reversed, and ooh, oh my goodness. Okay, this is a very Sera focused, the cookies, Sera, and now the Fool. Okay, because in the Dragon Age Inquisition tarot deck, the Fool is Sera default, and okay, this is so funny. This is not rigged, okay? This is like this is so Sera focused that's just, this is a, okay, I'm just like, okay, the cookie, the references, everything. The cards want us to focus on Sera. That's funny. And oh yeah, and the Inquisitor is potentially a Red Jenny. And so if the Inquisitor is a Red Jenny, and the Inquisitor might convey information to the Dragon Age 4 protagonist, I'm guessing that potentially, not that the Dragon Age 4 protagonist would also become a Red Jenny, but the Red Jennies will come in contact potentially with the Dragon Age 4 protagonist and help either from the sidelines or more directly, or just send little messages, hints and clues to the Dragon Age 4 protagonist. The Red Jennies, and Sera's potentially Red Jenny. So yeah, there's that. There's the Jennies to consider also. Okay, so it's reversed. All right, so let's see. Reversed. Recklessness. Well, yes, Sera can be a little reckless at times, but it could work to her advantage. Her recklessness and her demeanor, the way she is, doesn't make her seem like so much of a threat. And so if she's an ally, potentially, maybe, I don't think she would have an advisory role, but if she appears for a mission or becomes an ally in some other form, recklessness might work to our advantage, because the enemy is not going to suspect that this person is dangerous or has too much knowledge. And so she's perfect for that role. They'd be unsuspecting of her. Self-destructive urges. So I don't know what self-destructive urges Sera might experience. Hey, dark side. But just like, hey, in the thought. But it could be linked to, if she does have the soul of an Evernurus living inside her, or some sort of connection somehow to that past, then there could be a desire to do things, to act upon either her fear or her anger, or simply be impulsive. And that alone, that in itself, whether she's consciously knowing that it's self-destructive, it could end up being self-destructive. The impulse to want to do a certain thing, to attack a certain person, and to go after a certain noble, maybe is not such a good idea. Will's Words says, got a lot of mixed feelings about Sera. Yes, and what's interesting for me about Sera is the first 2 playthroughs, in fact the first 3, I was rivaled with her. I didn't have much of a connection with the character, but then I friended her, and sort of, and more recently got all the way to becoming a Red Jenny with my male elf, with my male Lavellan, and it's very interesting. There's a lot of jumbled history that she tries to express, but that's difficult to comprehend entirely. And she's an interesting character. It's, you know, she kind of grew on. She's not one of my favorites, but she's growing on me. Unpredictability. Well, yes, the Red Jennies and Sera herself. Sera's very unpredictable. The Red Jennies are unpredictable, probably because of her demeanor, her aloofness, the way that she is, the way that she acts, and so it makes her unpredictable, which could be very good to have as an ally or to help us out during a mission in Dragon Age 4, because whatever mission that involves, and I'm guessing it'll probably involve more elves, but even if she helps us for anything else, the enemy is not going to be able to predict her next move. And they'll be very unsuspecting. I feel very strongly about that. Lack of restraint or self-control. So, and the next one seems to go with it, impulsiveness. Lack of restraint or self-control and impulsiveness. That's Sera, down to a T. You know, the self-control, I think of that mission where her kind of loyalty mission, and I forget his name, the noble, we're considering recruiting him, and she just wants to, if we ask too many questions, she just impulsively kills him. She doesn't restrain herself, and she doesn't like us considering recruiting, having him work for the Inquisition. And so she has that impulsiveness. It could work to our advantage if she's helping us with a mission, if she's an ally, but it could also work to her detriment and our detriment. Yes, she's unpredictable, but the impulsiveness might counter whatever advantages the unpredictability might have gained. Repression. It makes me think, even if Sera expresses her confusion or her anger in certain moments, there is a certain level of repression of emotions, because she, even when we come back from the fade, it's too much to comprehend, because it's so out there going in the fade physically. And so she rather just cast that aside and repress what she's feeling and move on, move forward, and continue to do pranks and whatever, to not have to deal with the implications of what that might mean. What does it mean Mythal is alive and was in Flemeth? What does it mean going physically into the fade? It can be done again. There's so much history, so much lore, so many implications of all these things going on, that repressing that is a lot easier, and to be ignorant about it than to have to face the reality of what's going on in Thedas. Inhibition kind of, she's not the kind of character who has many inhibitions, but maybe she develops some. Maybe, there are certain things that will cause certain inhibitions because of her, lack of restraint or self-control in other areas. But I'm not too sure how that speaks too much to me. Let's see. Woolsworth says, big if, Sera has the soul of an old god or Evanurus, she might be a full-on danger on the scale of Solus. Yeah, so she potentially is a threat to Solus without knowing it. Maybe she'll become aware of it. Like, it's a big if, but maybe she'll become aware of it, and then the self-destructive urges might be to try to get rid of that thing that's inside her in any way possible. I don't think she would consider going to a blood mage or something, but if she's impulsive enough and just like, okay, I just want to get rid of this thing that's living inside me, it could be that, or the repression to, like, let's just pretend that I'm normal, but that's if she does have a soul living inside her. So it's an interesting reading. I find the universe has an interesting sense of humor. The cookies, picking Sera, and having the hangman reversed for the hangman reversed. The fool reversed hangman. Well, the hangman is Sera too, so maybe that's going to be the next card. But yeah, the fool reversed, Sera all around. And so what this says to me is that Sera's in Dragon Age 4 in some capacity. It says that, she's going to make an appearance. The Red Jennies are a thing. Yes, they're in southern Thedas, but, they're Red Jennies a bit all over the place. I see them helping the Dragon Age 4 protagonist. I see, like an arrow just falling somewhere in Antiva, and we're like, what? And we're like, okay, secret note about some noble somewhere. And this is great. It's so much of Sera. It's full on Sera. So, Will's word. I still can't bring myself to recruit Sera a proper trial. Yeah, she's a strange cookie. She's an interesting cookie, but hey, you know, I think it would make sense for her to be in Dragon Age 4 in some capacity, if for nothing else because of the Red Jennies and how they can help, and she has connections with the other Red Jennies in different noble houses. So even if she herself does not appear physically, we will hear from her in some way. That's what this is. Anyway, I'm repeating myself. So thank you everyone who tuned in to the stream. It's the most people who so far who tuned in. So it's always nice to see. And if you're watching the replay, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Helps the stream, helps the channel. And I'll see you all soon. Maseranas.